Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. My humble salutation at the feet of Bharebanteji, Guru Banteji, respected present here Buddha Palabanteji, my dear Samaneras and dear Upasakas and Upasikas. Once again, welcome one and all, those who are present here and those who are joining online. So today we are going to discuss about the story of Kisa Gautami. So in this world, many people do not like to talk about death because some people think it is negative and some people think that it is unauspicious and some people think that it brings bad thoughts and some people think that it spoils our happiness. But the Buddha taught us something very different here. Why? Because if we reflect on that, if we think about that, it brings us awareness about our life. So it doesn't make us sad or it doesn't make us fearful. Instead, it makes us awake. So we are all nowadays very busy with our works, with our chores. So we are all busy with social media, worries, tensions, our jobs, and chasing lots of things in our life. So we all forget to, most of the time, we all forget to reflect on that, isn't it? So that's why Buddha advised us to reflect again and again on that. So why? If we think about that, it clarifies our mind and it brings us awareness how to live our life, how to live a meaningful life. Our life is not to just live and chasing towards things. Our life is to live with meaningfully. So here the Buddha taught the story of Kisa Gautami, which you can find in Dhammapada. So the story starts like this. So there was a lady named called Kisa Gautami. Because of her thin body, people used to call her Kisa Gautami. So one day she got married and then she got a child. And and then after some time that her child suddenly passed away and she couldn't bear the pain and she was totally lost her mental awareness and she thought that her child was not dead, her child was sick, and she took her child and then she went from place to place, person to person for the medicine. She used to ask medicine to cure her only child. But people, they are very compassionate to her. Some people said that she is gone mad because of her child death. She couldn't bear, and she became like mad and going here and there with her child dead body, and some and then one of people saw her, and with his compassionate heart he advised her to approach to the Buddha, and then accordingly she approached to the Buddha, and then she asked the Buddha to cure his son. And then the Buddha did not tell her directly or didn't reject her that her child was dead. But the Buddha told her to bring the handful of mustard seed from the house where where no one has ever died. And then she went from house to house in the city, and wherever she went and wherever she goes and asked for a handful of mustard seed. The people wanted to give her the mustard seed, but in that house there was someone dead already. Whether some people they said my child has died, and my father or my grandmother or my husband. In this way the people said, but while doing so she realized, eventually she realized that the death is not only with my child, but it is everywhere, or it is with everyone. It is universal. So that is universal. We cannot escape from that, isn't it? So whether it is monk, whether it is nun, whether it is lay people, so everyone we all have to go through that one day. So that's why we should live our life accordingly. We should do lots of punya karma, meritorious deeds. So we never know when we have to leave this world, isn't it? So whether it is a child, whether it is young boy, whether it is any of age, whether it is old, so everyone, we all have to go through this. So, and then she eventually realized that, and then she returned to the Buddha. And then after understanding that, she requested the Buddha to admit her in the order of Bhikkhuni Sangha, and she became nun. And then after becoming nun, she practiced with diligently, and then she became an fully arahanthood, and she attained arahanthood, fully free from attachment. So here the Buddha says that in one of Dhammapada Gatha, from attachment brings a arise happiness, arise suffering from craving, arise dukkha, suffering, unhappiness. So that's why we should think properly, and we should love, or we should care with wisdom, not with greed, not with rooted with lobha. So in this way, she attain arahanthood. So so the Buddha says that clinging, when we cling to the things, any things, whether it is material things, whether it is people, whether it is loved one, whether it is parents, whether it is relationship. So when we cling to all these things, so suffering, we will definitely suffer, isn't it? So Buddha didn't say that, says that we shouldn't love, we shouldn't make relationship, we shouldn't run towards the material things. Buddha didn't say against these things, but Buddha says that we should we should love someone. We should chase something with our wisdom, with wisdom. So in this way, then only we can live a happy life. We can in this way we don't suffer much. So here the our we are living in this world. So the world is very advanced, isn't it? So we we are always in fear, and we are always in suffering. Why? Because we are in the fear of losing our loved ones, our jobs, our relationship, isn't it? So losing respect. So here we can see how the story of Kisa Gautami teach us how to live a life. So by reflecting the death, we can forgive ourselves, forgive others, and we love more with wisdom, and we can live mindfully. So the Buddha Buddha did not talk about that to frighten us, but he taught us to free us from the fearfulness, but to free us from the suffering. So in this way, we can reflect on that, and we can reflect and we can live a life by thinking each and every morning, each and every evening, this is my last day, and how should I live? So by thinking, we should like this, we should live our life. So and then only our mind will be peaceful, and we will not suffer much in our life. So in this way, we can live a very peaceful and happy life, and we will not suffer much. So this is the story of Kisa Gautami, how the Buddha taught her and how she overcome. See here, and the Buddha taught her with experience, not with just saying, but Buddha advised her to go to bring the handful of mustard seed from house, isn't it? And then eventually she experience within, then she only understand the nature of our life. So how we go through. So with this reflection, so we should also reflect on that. So we should also think that we all also have to go through, and we all also have to live this world, but we don't know when the time will come, isn't it? So understanding this, we should live a life with meaningful and with by practicing sila, by practicing samadhi, by practicing meritorious deeds. So with this, I conclude my Dhamma talk. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
So, Kovido Bhante explained Kisa Gautami story, very popular story in the Buddhist community about Kisa Gautami. And this is very important for us because we are all going to die someday. We don't know when. Is anybody not going to die? Please raise your hand if you're not going to die. So we are going to die, and not only we are going to die, but our beloved people are going to die. That is much bigger problem, right? If you're alone going to die, that's okay, but your own beloved people are also going to die, you know. And just recently, few days, not even few days, 2 days ago, one child, just maybe 9 or 10, passed away through some accident. One of the person who used to come here. So the father was crying, and we went for the funeral, and it was crying, and a young father, I think he must be around 40 or something, is crying and crying. So mother was in ICU. So this is the reality, and this is something unavoidable. We can't avoid death, obviously, but we can avoid the suffering that comes from losing some beloved people, right? Remember the the simile of the arrow, right? 2 arrows. So this is something we can contemplate, and it's one of the contemplation. It's more like a meditation, where you contemplate on death, So in that you tell yourself that I am subject to death. I'm not free from death. I may die anytime. I may die by accident, by some illness, or by all different means, right? So what it does is make you make you realize or make you comfortable, in other words, or even, let's say, familiar with the reality of death. Because if you look at Kisa Gautami's story, the problem was not the child was no more, but it was because her unfamiliarity with the death, right? It was not so familiar, especially not familiar with, say, with yourself or with your beloved people. So it is something you can do, contemplation. You can try if you like, you can try. But at the same time, not too much as well, right? So otherwise you will become too much kind of sad, You will never be happy on any occasion, right? Maybe. So that is the possibility. There is a story of some monks, in Buddha's time, when they were meditating on the body. So they committed suicide because they were too much negative, right? Then Buddha said, balance it with some metta. So, yeah, you have to balance that whole thing, right? So that's something you need to do. So it's a very important thing, meditation on death. In another place, Buddha also says that when you think about or contemplate on the death, you are also free from hatred, right? Hatred, right? There's so much hatred in the world, people hate each other, nation or whatever. So Buddha said, when some people contemplate on the death, the reality of death, then Buddha says people will not hate each other, right? After all, we are all mortal, we are all going to die. Why we hate each other? And why? And then we are anyway going to go. And so what we carry with ourselves is our hatred or love or compassion that we practice. So therefore it helps in that way as well. So this practice is not to make you feel bad, but it is reality. And Buddha's teaching is all about reality, truth. So death being one. So you have to, you have to be somehow familiar with it and somehow be in close contact with, in the sense that you are not suddenly shocked, why, how, like something like that. So it's better to do that. There is also a story about some 17-year-old girl who is to meditate on death, and with the help of that, within few years, she achieved a deep state of enlightenment, sotapanna, just 17 or 18-year-old. So that is a very good practice, if it is done in a right way. So remember, it's not to be done for the sadness, but just for the sake of understanding. And if you do that, you may love people more, because they are going to die, right? Just come to think of this, that your friend or is going to die in 2 months' time. Let's say the doctor predicted your friend is going to die in 2 months. So you will be filled with all the love for your friend, isn't it? Yeah. Let's say just 1 week, then you will leave everything, right, and give time to your friend, and you'll say all the good things, right? So it's really helpful for us, to think about that, and it also free us in some way, right? It free us of all the different concerns and worries and whatever expectations and so many other clutter that we are generally hanging around or hanging with. So it's very important practice, right? So Kisa Gautami's example and that lady, her example, so it's a very powerful meditation. And generally, I also suggest to some people who are too afraid of death, right? Or some people do come and tell me they're afraid of death, or also death of their beloved people. So it's good to practice as one of the form of meditation. And then of course you can practice metta as well, so that you balance, and some anapana, the breath meditation as well, so that helps you. Yeah, so it is one of the Chaturakha Bhavana, it's one of the protecting contemplation, The other three, Buddhanusati Metta cha Asubhang Maranasati. So recollecting the quality of Buddha, and Metta, which is loving kindness, and Asubha, that is meditation on the bodily parts, and then the final one is the death. So these are Buddha has separately given as something called Chaturakha Bhavana, right? So for protective. So it's a protective meditation. It protects you from so many different, say, negativity or unwholesome or fear or worry or whatever. So it really helps you, in many ways. So this is the contemplation on death. And so Kisa Gautami, she becomes a nun, right? And you can also study some of the Theri Gatha. Theri Gatha is some utterances, or it's more like a poem. So of those enlightened bhikshunis, ladies who are monk, nun, just like the monk Theragatha. So those are also very good, because they explain their own spiritual achievement in the form of verses or utterances in the Therigatha. So that's something you can look into if you are interested. Okay, so with this we come to the conclusion of today's talk on Kisa Gautami and the death. So are you all sad that you are going to die someday or any day? No? Yeah, but that is the truth, right? Maybe after maximum, let's say, after 80 years, maybe one or two of us will be alive and some other people will be sitting here, some other people sitting in this hall, right? So we'll be all gone according to our karma. So that is, karma is also important, right? So we need to gather a lot of good karma, and we have to see that whether it is elevating us internally, and then that will help us while we are dying, right? So when we are dying, right, at that time, what will come to our mind is all the karma that we have been doing, whether we were good to people or we were not good to people, right? Whether we were kind or we were very nasty to people. So all those things come, right? So in some way, we are living our life so that we can have a peaceful death, right? And so that we can have a peaceful rebirth as well, right? The next life, right? So Are you ready for the next life as well? Are you preparing? Right? So we need to be doing good and thinking good and speaking good as much as possible in our own capacity, of course. But that is something important, right? Okay, with this we conclude, and we wish all of you happiness. We do blessing for all of you. Bhavatu sabamangala rakhantu sabbadevata sabbabudhanubhave Sadha sothe bhavantu te bhavatu sabbamangal rakhantu sabbadeva sabbadhammanubha asothe bhavantu Bhavato sabbama sabbadevata sabbasangha vena sada sothe bhavantu te abhivadana silesa Nechang Voda Pachayin Chataro Dhamma Ayuvanno Sukhang Balang Ayu Arogya Sampati Sagga Sampa Atho nibbana sampad immanate samin jatoti. May the blessing of Buddha Dhamma Sangha, may you all be happy by the blessing of Buddha Dhamma Sangha. May you all be happy, healthy, peaceful and joyful. May you all be free from harm, danger, sickness and worries. May you all be free from, may all your wish be fulfilled, and may you all grow in Dhamma, and may all beings be happy. We share all this goodness, punya we have accrued today. We share with all the beings in the entire universe and all the people on this earth. May all beings be happy, healthy and peaceful. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.